Hey PA gang, PA Reloader here. Today I want to talk about something that I take in my camping and overnight canoe trips, and that's my little 4-cup aluminum percolator. Now I know this video is going to be a little bit different than stuff I normally do, but this little gem doesn't get enough credit. If you were looking for a great cup of coffee, there's nothing better than a little percolator like this. I've had this, I don't know how long, maybe 35 years, 40 years. I got it from my mom when I was just getting into camping and overnight trips, and there's nothing better than a great cup of coffee when it's getting cold outside and you just want something warm. So it breaks down into the percolator lid. Here's the lid, here's your sight glass, and that just goes in there and locks. It comes with your filter. No need for a paper filter or anything. This does it all right here. And then I keep my coffee in here. So that's gonna fill up this. And then you have your percolator, which you can see right here, there's a little notch. So when this sits flat in the bottom, the water can seep through here, goes up this tube into this sight glass, and you'll see it perk. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make some coffee today. And I have my Stanley Adventure Camp cook set, and I got my my Ozark Trails cup on here. So I'm gonna make a black cup of coffee, and I'll show you guys how this works. It's pretty neat. So this is a 4-cup. It's got graduations on it. So we got 2, 3, and 4. So we'll make, let's see how much we're gonna make today. We'll fill it with water. One bottle took us to 3 cups, so that's what we're gonna have. We're gonna have 3 cups of water. So now we're gonna take our coffee, bring the camera down a little bit and show you. And I'm gonna take this lid off. So now we have an empty reservoir right here. And I'm just gonna fill this with coffee. And because you're using a percolation method, you don't need that much coffee, because it's going to keep the water, as it percolates, is going to keep going over the coffee grinds that are already in there. So that's what you get right there. This is about half full. And we're going to put that on there. We're going to take our stem. We're going to put that in there. Now they make, you can buy these brand new still from Cabela's, but I've only seen the 12-cup percolators, and they're stainless steel. This thing weighs practically nothing. I throw it in I have a 2.5 to 3 gallon bucket that has all my canoeing gear, as far as like coffee cups, fuel canisters. I'll take this with me. It's just a bucket that I have that I put all my essential and necessary needs that I can get to real quick if I need to, while I'm canoeing. And it's great for camping. You just carry it with you, and it has everything you need. And I have medicine in it. It's just my one go-to bucket that has everything. But I do keep this in there, and this thing weighs nothing. This coffee pot is from the 50s, and it's very hard to find a 4-cup aluminum coffee pot like this. You can't find them anymore. You can find the steel ones, like I said, but you can't find the aluminum ones. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to grab the stove. I did a video on this before. I showed you guys what I did to this to make it my own camping set. You can see it's been on the fire. And then I have my Scotch-Brite pad to clean it. So I'm going to take this off the stump here, and we'll leave our cup. We'll leave our cup here, and then we're going to take our stove and we're going to put it on our fuel canister. And again, this stove, I've talked about it before. This is the MSR Pocket Rocket, and this stove is fantastic. It'll boil water in like 3 minutes. Now, with the coffee, I'm not going to have it on like high heat. I'm going to have it on like a medium heat because I don't want this thing to start overflowing. If it gets a roaring boil, it'll start coming out of the sides of the lid, and I don't want that. All right. So this video might be a little long, just because we're gonna sit here and we're gonna wait for this to boil. But check your thrift stores, garage sales. I mean, I've picked up a lot of Coleman lanterns on garage sales for a few bucks, and Coleman lanterns are going for like $30, $40 now, depending on which model you have. This stump that I'm working on, I picked up from some guys in the town next to me. They were doing a lot of, they must have had 100 cords of wood just in a huge pile, and that's all they did all day long, was just split wood with their log splitter. And they were nice enough to give me this oak stump that's about 24 inches tall and about 18 inches round. I wanted it specifically for doing YouTube videos, and it's really come in handy. So we're gonna have 3 cups of coffee today, and it's going to be enjoyable. And when you use a percolator like this, you can keep it on or off the burner as long as you want. So you'll start seeing in here the color of the coffee. It's going to start out as a light brown, almost looking like tea. And then as it keeps percolating, the water keeps cycling through the grinds of the coffee. It's going to become darker and darker, to where if you really wanted a black cup of coffee, you could have it. So it's kind of nice that you can kind of make the coffee to the strength that you want. But yeah, it's great. It makes a great cup of coffee. Handle got a little burned here from being in a campfire, but like I said, I've had this for years, and this is my go-to little coffee maker. When I do my overnight canoe trips, like I said, this is always with me. And as soon as I get to camp, I'll set up my tent. We'll get the campfire going, and then I always make a fresh pot of coffee as soon as I get there, just to wake me up a little bit after a long day on the water. I highly recommend just getting out there and having fun. Enjoy the outdoors. There's so much you can do. Kayak, canoe, camping, hiking. I've been on some really awesome hiking, I don't want to say trips, but I've been on some really awesome hikes. I'm very fortunate where I live that within a half an hour's drive, I'm in the mountains, and there's this one place. It's called the Pennsylvania Environmental Education Center. It's PEEC, and the road to get there follows the Delaware River, so it's a beautiful scenic ride anyway. But they have a bunch of hiking trails, and they have this one trail called the Waterfall Trail, and it's probably a 5 or 6 mile hike, but when you hike that trail, it takes you down a ravine, and there's just these massive pine trees. I mean, you feel like a little elf in there, because the pine trees are so massive, and there's this gorgeous 30-foot waterfall that comes down. And because the hike's it's a little bit of it's a hard hike. It's not an easy hike, but you're pretty much guaranteed to be the only one there if you hike down there. And the scenery is just gorgeous. You can just wade in the water if you want. It's ice cold. I mean, that water is cold. I can stand some pretty cold water just from flipping in, like early spring, March, April canoe trips. I've been in the water before, and this water is cold. It's that cold. So pot's getting warm. I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I was kind of struggling to come up with another video, and I was just going through my gear, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a video on my coffee pot, because like I said, I bring it with me on all my trips, and it's an essential part of my gear. So I figured, and not many people use a percolator coffee pot anymore. It's kind of like it's an older thing. I'm kind of showing my age, I think, by using it. It's kind of funny, but like I said, I've had this for like 40 years, and I would just go into the woods with my gear and make a nice cup of coffee after a hike or a canoe trip or a camping trip. I always have actually, I have I think it might be an 8-cupper, an 8-cup, one of these. I know it's not a 12, but I think it's an 8, and it is stainless steel. I bought it at Cabela's, but that I'll use when I go on a family camping trip, because it obviously holds more, and I can make more coffee for more people. This is specifically just for me. So it's taken a little while. That water was cold also. I love making these videos, guys. They're so much fun, and you can really get creative. You can pretty much make a video on anything you want. I plan on doing I have a canoe trip coming up in, I think, May. Some of my buddies and I are talking about it, and we'll usually get like 6 or 7 boats, 2 guys per boat. And that we're doing the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania, which is Pine Creek. It's a good trip. It's the Upper Pine. Look it up and check it out. It's called Pine Creek, and I'm not exactly sure where we're starting or ending. My one buddy's taking care of all the details. But it's going to be a blast. It's going to be fun. And there's always, on these camping trips or the canoeing trips that we have, it's like everybody brings their own food, but we always have, like we've had a beef heart, we've had deer heart. There's always steaks and sausage and whatever. Each boat brings their own food, and so there's always a variety of food. We always, everybody shares. We had a bushel of oysters that one guy he comes down from Maine to go on these canoe trips with us. We've had, not at one time, but over the years, We've had over 100 different friends of friends go on these canoe trips, and they're just so much fun, you know. And the one thing I like about these canoe trips is, you know, with today's day and age, everybody's in such a rush to get here or do that, and when I'm on a canoe, my life slows down. It takes me about an hour to get into the groove, but when I'm on my canoe, the water's moving about 2 miles an hour, and that's about right. That's as fast as life is moving at that point. So it's a great way to decompress and de-stress, is just being on the water with friends. I love it, and we always have a great time together. We see lots of bald eagles. I've seen black bear. We had I think the mother may have gotten hit by a car, but we had a baby fawn hanging out. We woke up that morning, we had a baby fawn in our campsite, and we were feeding it out of our hand. So tame, and unfortunately I think the mother was hit by a car, but the fawn was fine, as far as it didn't need the mother to survive. So that was pretty neat. But we always see bald eagles. We were on the water the one time, and for about 2 miles, these two bald eagles just kept circling, and they're looking for fish for they would swoop down and take a trout out of the river. All right, guys, we got some action right here. You can see that it's starting to percolate. The water's coming up, and what that water is doing, it's overflowing into that filter with the coffee, and it's going to start turning color. Turn down the heat a little bit. It's starting to turn color. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see that. Can you see that color? Pot's nice and hot. Yeah, it's starting. That's gonna be a good cup of coffee. My one friend, he that goes on the canoe trips with us, he bought a coffee roaster. So he buys the green coffee beans from like Hawaii. He buys all kinds of exotic coffee beans, and what he'll do is he'll bring a bag for me, because he's usually my partner on these canoe trips. He's usually in the front of the canoe, and he'll bring me a bag of coffee, and then he'll bring a bag for the whole camp, the group, you know, the guys that are camping with us. But what's cool is he said the beans only take 18 minutes to roast, and I've tried a blend. It's Kona coffee. It's a blend. I've tried the blend, but I never had pure Kona, and I don't like my coffee black. It's just not for me. But he brought me pure Kona. It wasn't a blend. It was straight Kona, and I brewed it, and I drank that black. It was the smoothest cup of coffee that I've ever had, and it tasted wonderful. Just black, nothing in it, no sugar, no cream, just straight up black coffee, and it was absolutely delicious. It's not a bad day out today. It's totally overcast, no sunshine, but it's like 45, and I really wanted to get out and make a video. I wasn't really feeling too good this morning. I woke up with a migraine, and I had to take my medication when I do get a migraine. It worked. It finally, my migraine finally went away, but I wanted to get out here and do a video because it's been 2 weeks since I've done one. Yeah, you see how it's turning color? It's getting very dark. We're gonna let this go for another couple of minutes. I'm right here in this spot. See this tree right here, or right this bush right here? That I might have to take out, but from that bush to this stump is about 90 inches, and what I want to do is I want to put a chicken coop in here with a chicken run that's about 80 inches. It goes underneath the chicken house, and then about 41 inches is just open to the sunshine. I'm planning on getting 4 hens, and we're going to be in about 4 to 5 months they'll be laying eggs. So this is where the chicken coop's going to go. You might have to remove this shrub right here. I'm hoping that I don't have to. Maybe I can just trim it up. But yeah, I think if you guys also, I've had chickens in the past, and chickens are easy to take care of. They're easy to raise, and they're a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to getting new chickens. You guys can hear that percolating. These percolators are just fantastic. I just love them. Yeah, it's doing really well. And these are an easy thing to clean. I mean, basically you're just rinsing it out with water. You take the grinds, throw them on the ground, and then rinse them down the drain. Or when I'm on a trip, I just usually just clean it off in the river and then dry it off and put it away till the next time I need it. Just about done. I think about another minute. Color looks good. There's some coffee in the Ziploc part of this. But it's not a bad day out. Like I said, overcast. But nice enough day to do a video. I got 426 subscribers right now. At 500, we're doing a giveaway, and the giveaway is going to be one of these brand new Stanley Adventure cook sets. They come with 2 nesting cups. Check out my other video I did on this. It's a great video. You can customize these to however you want to, whatever you want to put in it to go camping, or you know, on a hike, backpack, throw it in a backpack. But check out my video on this. I customized this one and I have everything in it that I need. So check that out. All right, we're done. Shutting the fuel off. We'll move the stove. And we're gonna pour the coffee. And those grinds stay right in there. They don't come out. I filled that up just about to the top. Put this over here. this is cooling off, we'll take this off. It's a little dirty, a little hot, but like I said, it's easy to clean. These grinds go right in the garbage or the ground. We'll take this out. Cool off. My legs falling asleep here. Hot but good. So that's my video on my 4-cup percolator. I just made 3 cups. Look for these at thrift stores. If you find a 4-cupper and it's aluminum, pick it up. This weighs absolutely nothing. It's great for just throwing it in a backpack or a box or tub that you might use on camping trips or canoe trips. And it makes a great cup of coffee. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you like these videos. If you like them, please like, share, and I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. It's growing. I'm having so much fun making these videos and coming up with ideas. If you have any ideas for me, please leave a comment, and I always try to answer all my comments. If one does slip by, I apologize. But yeah, leave me a comment of what you might like to see, and I'll try to make it happen. So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.